KKK. You got so many things going on in America. You got the hippies protesting the Vietnam War. There's so many things going on. So what do? Come back to America. You come back to America and you try to decide, how am I going to live my life? What am I going to do? What am I going to contribute? You know, what type of human being am I going to be? So he came back, and this is all research that I've done throughout, you know, from his companions and his wives and some of his children, some of his older children. This is research that I've done, you know, the mindset of him coming back at that time. So I'm going off of research that I've done and my own research of the things that I've known about my father, which is my hero in every way. But you come back to America. He comes back to America, and you know, you're thinking about the state of the African American people, right? You're thinking about the state of the African American people, and you're wondering, what, you know, I don't like it. I don't want to. What do I do? You know, how do I be a part of history? How do I, you know, change the outlook and change the aspect of the African American people, or help in that aspect? You know, my man, can I get involved with? Can I jump in at? You know, that's your mindset, because if you're thinking, you're looking in your neighborhoods, you're living in these neighborhoods, Queens, Brooklyn, wherever you may be in the 5 boroughs of New York City, and you're wondering, well, what do I do? You know, because there's so much activism going on. Malcolm X at this time, and he used to tell me, he said, son, I used to go down to the temple and listen to Malcolm X speak, and you know, you get inspired, but you know, just wasn't touching. It just something was missing. Something was missing. And at this time, if you was, you know, a halfway intelligent African American, you were seeking something. You were seeking knowledge. You were seeking the truth. You were seeking, you know, to be, you know, better than, you know, you were yesterday. It drove you to becoming a better person, and it drove him to becoming a Muslim. And a friend of his took him to the masjid. He took his shahada at the age of 21. So you think about, from 1941, Vietnam, or the Vietnam War, coming back to America, going through the change of coming back from war, and now taking your shahada, you know, taking your shahada at the age 21, right? So now you're Muslim. Now he's Muslim. Now what do I do? Because now I got to study and learn a different way of life. He was actually coming from a Jehovah's Witness family. So now I got to study a different way of life. Maybe your family members, maybe his family members wasn't too pleased or wasn't too happy with him. You know, I know Jehovah's Witnesses don't really agree with the switch over from Jehovah's Witnesses to becoming Muslim. So maybe he had a little conflict within his family. So now your thoughts are, you know, a little, you know, wild. You know, they're a little wild. They're a little all over the place, because who wants to have conflict with their family? Especially the ones that they love. You love your family. You know, even if you hate them, you love them. You know, so after he took his shahada, he went to college to attain a degree in education and worked in various public schools. So he went to college, obtained a degree in education, and then started working in the public school system. So see, there, you got to think about it. There, what better opportunity to help your African American people than starting right there with the children, with the youth in the public school system. You know, that's the mindset. I'm going to go. Who knows what his thinking was, but I'm actually kind to paint a picture for you and for myself, because what is your thought process like? What is your thought process like after you take your shahada and become Muslim? During that time, You're thinking about the plight of the African American people the entire time, and you're wondering, what can I do? You go to school, get an education. First of all, you got a plan. You have to have a plan. When you start out and you start towards a goal and a path, you have to have a plan. So you have to have a plan. So I'm gonna get an education and work in a public school system. I'm gonna help from here. I'm gonna start teaching kids and teaching youth and trying to change their mindset to let them know that not only are they loved, but they are somebody. They're somebody. And they can be better than a basketball player, a football player, or a rapper. Or go to the military. Because in the hood, in the ghetto, what are your options? You thinking, what are your options? So you're in high school, and that's what I'm about to play basketball. I'm going to NBA. I'm about to play football. I'm going to NFL. I'm about to be a rapper, These are your options. So then he and started Madrasa to Shahidin. This was one of the first Muslim schools in Brooklyn, New York, and he was the principal of this school. This school taught not only myself, but so many other family members and friends of mine for years. And, it created a community life. His thing was a community. It was always community from the beginning. We have to create a lifestyle of community, and that has to be your mindset. Because not only within the small Muslim community in Brooklyn, New York, you had communities around Brooklyn, New York. It was more family orientated. I remember growing up, it was more family orientated. It was more, we used to have a lot of block parties and things like this, and everybody came out. Although Muslims didn't indulge in that type of music, we used to sneak outside or sit outside on our porch and watch everybody on the block skating up and down the block, music, all these things going on, or we was playing Skelly or something. So you think about that time, and you think about his thought process of creating the community lifestyle and teaching the youth and building up this Muslim school. And still at that time, you got to understand, I'm giving you the mindset of my hero, my father, whom I love and miss so much. I'm giving you his mindset of, how, you always thinking about getting better. And for me, I know, so many, myself and my siblings are like him so much. And I'm thinking about my thought process of, thinking of doing something right or doing something that bears fruit and shows progress. You don't want to get into something that you can't complete or you can't do properly. You want to get into something that you're going to do properly. Like you're going to give it 100%. You're going to give it your all. And for me, I know I'm like that. So I could imagine what he was going through. Again, traits, that are passed down through your children and into your lineage. And that was his mindset. So he married a few times, started having kids, started having us. I'm one of the oldest sons. But I got a lot of older sisters that's older than me. So there was a lot more kids born. There was a couple more kids born before me. But started having kids. And, as the years going by, in this Muslim community, they were seekers. They were seeking, looking, searching. I don't know if anyone's doing this now today, but looking, because there's so much going on in society that's misleading. That's misleading. That's taking you off your focus. that's just interrupting your thought process and your mindset. There's so much junk and stuff going on the internet, and they didn't have the internet back then. So they their thought process was, I have to find something that I can latch onto that has some real sustenance, some the truth. I'm searching for the truth. We are searching for the truth. And that was his thought process, and all the companions around him, their thought processes. We're searching for the truth. We want to know what it is. We all say we worship the Almighty. We all say we worship God and regarding religion. But Islam goes deeper, much deeper than just religion. You know, this is how you live day in and day out. From putting on your socks and shoes, to laying in the bed, to getting up in the morning, to brushing your teeth, to loving your family and working and, you know, gaining good, honest money to bring home and feed your family. So in this search, him and his companions continued throughout years, and it brought them to 1981. In 1981, they found and, you know, pledged that they would be, you know, students to Sheikh Sayyid Mubarak Ali Shah Gilani. And that is where, you know, a lot of my father's, you know, change and transformation became a reality for him. You know, from being born in 48 to 81, and getting to, you know, getting to that point of finding a teacher, a sheikh, a guide, such as Sheikh Sayyid Mubarak Ali Shah Gilani. And when you realize that you have found such a dynamic person, a dynamic human being with extreme intelligence, you know, very educated, wisdom, love and kindness, and is of the family of the Holy Last Messenger, the Prophet Muhammad. You're like one of those gold miners that struck gold. When they panning for river, and you feel like you found a gold nugget. You know, now you're onto this gold nugget, and you're like, wow, I'm rich. I'm rich. So again, I'm trying to paint the picture from their perspective. You know, at that time, you know, I was a baby, not a baby, but a couple of years old. I was born in 74, 75. So I was born in around at the time. So you try to think about their mindset that they have, you know, living at that time and understanding what was going on and trying to, you know, one, seek knowledge, and to uplift their people in their community. So after declaring their loyalty to this man and becoming his student, you know, they started to learn Islam in a different light and study more intense. And you know, he began to travel various Muslim countries and seeing other Muslims and other ways of life, and, you know, understanding Islam from different perspectives, and, you know, gaining knowledge that way, which is a very good way to also obtain knowledge, is traveling and understanding different cultures and understanding different ways of life. If you are a person that